And hello everyone. Today is Friday, September 19th, 2025. The time's around 9:25 a.m. Pacific. And the temperature is a cool 15 degrees Celsius here in the city of Vancouver. Welcome, Kevin. How you doing, my man? Happy Friday. Hey, Mark. Aloha, Danica. Starting out our walk today here in East Vancouver in the Hastings Sunrise neighborhood. We're gonna head downtown. Carl Roth, happy Friday to you. How are you today? Looks like beautiful weather there. Yes. Nice cool day of 15 Celsius. It'll warm up probably to 20 degrees at some point. And it's a nice sunny day. Perfect for walking around. What is the one thing that drives people into Vancouver these days? It's a good question. Probably, I mean, there's not a lot of jobs right now in Vancouver, but probably, you know, people would come here for work, school. It's a lot of different universities and colleges. And just to, you know, maybe move to a bigger city, experience something different. But I mean, this place was bustling for many, ever since the 90s. Vancouver's basically been bustling, growing like crazy. Tons of jobs, tons of construction. But things have kind of slowed down the last little while. But I think there's still a lot of opportunities here in certain sectors. There's not a huge tech sector here. I think there should be. There should be more of that in Vancouver. I feel like there's an opportunity to grow the tech sector, I feel like. And we have Juanita with us. Welcome, Nita. Got a purple Cybertruck there in front of us here. What do you guys think of this color purple? Feel like it's maybe a bit tacky. Plush Mickey, $5 super chat. Hello Robert, hello Elizabeth, welcome. How you doing? Hope you're enjoying your day in Hawaii. It's a beautiful Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. Nice to see you, Plush. And thanks for getting us to our goal of 1 super chat, Elizabeth. Thank you. It's weird with the goals. You can't do like 2 super chats as a goal. You can only do 1, 5, or 10 or something like that. So that's why I usually have it at 1. I want to make it maybe 2, but you can't. Still in bed, eh, Elizabeth? Yeah, it must be early there, right? It's only 9:30 here, so it must be 6:30 in Hawaii, I'm guessing. So we're heading down Dundas Street. We have a Dundas Street here in East Vancouver. Not quite as famous as Toronto's Dundas Street or Yonge and Dundas Square, which has a new name now. That girl was flying. But I think if I keep walking along this Dundas Street, it'll eventually turn into Powell, and then it'll get all the way downtown. Okay, we've got somebody who's actually stopping for pedestrians here. That's nice. And we have Jazz with us. Welcome, Jazz. And we revealed Jazz's nickname the other day. Jazz's nickname is Nikki, so we can call her Nikki once in a while, right, Jazz? Nita and Nikki are in the house. And Marg is with us. Welcome, Marg D. Looks Looks like McDonald's has this new veggie burger. You think that's any good, this McVeggie burger? Carl's always loved the name Nicole. Nicole's a nice name. There's the Far Out Coffee Post right beside Dundas Market. Looks like a cool little coffee shop there. Far out, man. It's far out, dude. And Liam's in the house. Epic Nation HD. What up, my man? How's the ninja doing on this Friday? Quest non-profit grocery market. And this place is for sale. It's clean. It's a laundromat by a person named Jazz. And we got Mike Landry in the house. What's up, Mike? Here's our local McDonald's here. Smaller one. This is the Princeton Grill. They got live entertainment. Just gotta stop here for a second and tie my shoe. The 6-cent press. the return depot for cans, and this is all your recycling depot here.
Yeah, I refuse to smoke something that isn't gonna make me better, and then look like I smoked it because
And Alex is with us. Howdy, Alex. How you doing? A lot of working some cars. A number of Teslas are being looks like this is where you come to get your Tesla fixed. These are all Teslas getting fixed right in here. We have a place across the street called the Odd Society, the makers of fine spirits. Looks like a cool place. Does Vancouver have a Tesla dealership? Yeah, I think so, somewhere. That's a good question, but all these cars are Teslas these guys are fixing here. So, seems like those guys specialize. Look at all the Teslas in the parking lot here. You got Cybertrucks, blue Teslas, gray Teslas. This is Tesla country. In fact, this is a Tesla authorized every car here is a Tesla. This looks like a specifically authorized Tesla auto shop. You might be able to even buy these used Teslas. When you visited Vancouver, you went to Granville Island, Lonsdale Key, Metrotown, Richmond Center, to name a few. Oh, nice, Alex. You went to a lot of different places. The chat. What's up, Medano? Well, that's cool that you got to try, check out all those different places. I was over in Richmond yesterday. That was the first time I went to Richmond, but I didn't go to Richmond Center. I went to the River Rock Casino. It's a large casino resort, very similar to what you would see like in Las Vegas. I mean, it's a big hotel, big casino, huge like Gordon Ramsay steak restaurant, you know, like Starbucks, all the high-end coffee shops, all the high-end restaurants there. It's like, it's quite the resort over there. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but my friend from St. Thomas, well, he doesn't live in St. Thomas now, but my friend from high school, he's visiting Vancouver, a guy who I've known for over 30 years. And so I went to visit him at the Red Rock Casino, and I won $40 playing blackjack. Yes, the Canada line. The Canada line goes right to the River Rock Casino. Yep. You rode 75% of the SkyTrain. Wow, that's a lot of SkyTrain riding. You made some videos on the SkyTrain, right, Alex? Richmond is like a huge Chinatown. It's so fascinating. Richmond is, I heard, like 70% Asian basically. And Surrey is all Indian. Clear skies in TO, nice. Didn't make it to Surrey. I've never been to Surrey. Might go check it out at some point. I haven't walked this area of the city yet. Yeah, you can take the Expo line to Surrey, that's right, yeah. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk to you later, Plush. Hello, Brent Sheehan. Hello, Robert. I've just subscribed. You may have seen me in other channels. I found the gang, wondered where everyone was in the afternoon. Welcome, Brent. Nice to see you. Yes, I've seen you in other live streams, so nice to see you, Brent. Welcome to the West Coast Walker stream here from Vancouver on a Friday afternoon. Well, Friday morning still here. Nice to see you, my friend. The British Columbia Sugar Refining Company. Big sugar factory there. Those are some nice condos over on East Hastings Street. We've got Israel Morales. Hello, hola amigo. Carl says condo or house. Well, there's benefits of both. Condos are usually more in a downtown bustling area. If you live in a house, it's going to be maybe a little more away from the heart of the city. But you certainly get a lot more space with a house. You get a backyard. You can have a garden, you can have all that kind of stuff with a house. So probably a house is better in the end. Also, I would say a house probably has much better resale value than these. Condos don't have great resale value. There's been a bit of a condo, like the prices of condos have gone way down in Vancouver because there's been so much oversupply. That's what I heard. Real estate prices are down across the board actually. So not as many people are flocking to Vancouver as they used to. Let's cross here. Got a Starbucks and a Subway here. All city storage place. Oh, Brad says, I want to thank you for leaving a comment on your hill climbing video. Oh, absolutely, Brad. That was an excellent video you did where you walked up a pretty high hill and you could see the whole world from up there. That was an amazing video, Brad. I'm glad you were able to accomplish that. Seems like an amazing spot that you went to up there. Oh, amigo, or Israel says, amigo Robert is here. Prime Minister Carney is over in Mexico. That's right. I think I heard about that. He's meeting with the President of Mexico. Sorry. Thank you. If being sexy was a crime, I would be in jail for tax fraud. Oh, thank you, Israel. I would love to visit Mexico City one day. And Guadalajara. And other places in Mexico like Tulum and Chichen Itza. But not Cancun or Puerto Vallarta. I have no use for Cancun or Puerto Vallarta, where I'm just going to see a bunch of tourists and not see any part of Mexico except some resort. Those places I don't want to see. I want to see downtown Mexico City, ancient Tenochtitlan. Guadalajara is one of the more famous and culturally interesting cities in Mexico. And then the Mayan country, where they have the ruins, giant pyramids of the ancient Mayan civilization, is very interesting. place is called Trump's Fine Foods. Just come to Mexico City, says Israel. Yeah, I might do that one day. They have direct flights from Canada to Mexico City. They're from Vancouver to Mexico City, I believe. And Harjot's with us. Welcome, Harjot. Mexican food in Mexico City, though, Israel? I like Mexican food, so there better be some good Mexican food down there. Just kidding. And I don't want to just eat burritos when I'm there, okay? I want some authentic stuff. This is the Vancouver Buddhist Temple. Now we've reached the notorious downtown Eastside. I'm purposely avoiding East Hastings Street. I'm a one street north of that. Because if I were to walk down East Hastings, I'd probably get accosted. Mark Bass is with us, saying try the savory ice cream. Where do we have savory ice cream? Over in Mexico City or here? A lot of geese here. Look at all these geese. And seagulls too. There's all kinds of birds hanging out. Looks like some sort of event going on here. Oh, over in Mexico they have savory ice cream. Oh, that's interesting. Carl's been to Acapulco. Went into Mexico City for 3-hour tour. 22 million people, yes. Yeah, no, I have no use for Acapulco. I don't want to go to Acapulco. You just see a bunch of Canadians and Americans there. The Mexican food true is in Mexico City. The true Mexican food is in Mexico City. But also Oaxaca too, right? They have a lot of good food in Oaxaca, right, Israel? Oaxaca is known as a very big food place. Nice grocery market here for the neighborhood. You see a lot of these nice local grocery marts here in the city. And we've got City Emerald. Welcome, Steve. How you doing, my man? Hope you're doing well in Oregon. Fresh food in Acapulco, no matter where you went, everything is fresh. Yeah, I believe that. I feel like in Mexico they don't need a lot of processed food and a lot of junk food and the stuff that we eat here. When you eat like a Mexican lunch, it usually feel pretty good afterwards, as opposed to eating a Big Mac and like your stomach feels like crap for 3 hours. With Mexican food, your stomach doesn't feel like crap. You feel great. Should I take my chances and go over to East Hastings in Maine? Maybe I'll show you guys real quick what it looks like over there right now. I'll try and be subtle about it. Nah, it's too much chaos. Too much chaos. I'm not up for that in the morning. I just changed my mind. I'm gonna head to Gastown this way. Friday, I think, is when the welfare checks come in, and that's when the drug dealers make all their money. People welfare, and then they go and buy drugs with it. Basically, the drug dealers are living off taxpayer dollars. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. Oaxaca is pretty, says Israel. You've been to Oaxaca, right? Monte Alban and Mitla. Those are some. I'd also maybe like to check out that butterfly mountain in Mexico. I don't remember what state it's in, but all the butterflies, the monarch butterflies here in North America, they do a gigantic migration every year, a multi-generational migration where they're born in Mexico on this specific mountain, the Butterfly Mountain, and then they make their way through the United States all the way up to Canada over multiple generations. Like, they don't live that long, right? They only live about 6 weeks, each of these butterflies, but their children and their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren continue the trek all the way to Canada, and they hang out in the summer, and then when the fall comes they head back, and somehow they know how to make their way back to the Butterfly Mountain, even though they weren't the ones there. It was like their great-grandparents that were there, but somehow they slowly make their way on a multi-generational trek back to mountain, to the Butterfly Mountain. I can't remember where it is though. So the life of a monarch butterfly is pretty remarkable. As we've reached Gastown, one of the most historic parts of Vancouver. And it's very picturesque here. See all the cobblestone streets here, all this beautiful brick-lined pavement, and cute little shops lined all throughout Gastown. Let's check out more of Gastown. I don't think I've really been too much to Gastown on my... I showed you the steam clock before, but... That store is called Troubled Waters. Monarcha. Yes, when Henry came over, we went to Gastown there. That's right, and when me and Henry did our collab, we started at the Gastown steam clock. That's correct. Mark says this is where he usually goes when he visits Vancouver. Okay, I'll search that, Israel. Those look like cool places. In Acapulco, you went to Denny's. Oh, okay. To get an authentic Mexican breakfast at Denny's. The old spaghetti factory. Filson, this looks like some nice men's clothing here. That's a proper jacket right there. Nice bags too. Maybe I should check out Filson sometime when I want to go clothes shopping. This is called Michelle's. It's like a gift shop basically. Cute little gift shop. Very cute little gift shop actually. Filson is very expensive. Okay. It looks high end. Definitely looks high end. This is called Gravity Pope shoe store. So this is now Water Street. It started as Dundas, switched to Powell, and now it's Water Street. Oh, there's a Straight Brooklyn Pizza. Is that there's something Brooklyn Pizza in Toronto as well, isn't there? North of Brooklyn? That's called Straight Brooklyn. I think that must be different. North of Brooklyn, yeah. I think there's a north of Brooklyn here too somewhere. Imperial Fur and Gifts, so they sell furs here. Canada was essentially built on the fur industry. Beaver pelts and other animals. That's what the first explorers and settlers of Canada engaged in, is fur trading. Best souvenirs here. It's a nice sweatshirt. Established 1886. I love Vancouver. I feel like they could have got a little more creative than I love Vancouver. That statement has already been used plenty of times as we reached the famous Gastown steam clock. You have a pair of sweatpants you got on eBay for 70, but you were originally 140. Oh, you got like Filson's clothing on eBay? That's a good idea. Yes, the Gastown steam clock, which I believe steams and whistles every like 45 minutes or something. But I don't know if it's going to, because look. The Gastown steam clock is currently under maintenance, so I'm not sure if we're going to see all the bells and whistles every 45 minutes. But it's the world's first steam-powered clock, and it's created for the enjoyment of everyone. The component parts cost $42,000, and the clock weighs over 2 tons. We've got Jay in the chat. Have you ever walked in other countries or cities? Yes, I have walked in other countries and cities. The other countries that I've been in, well, only one other country, that would be USA. But I've been to a lot of different cities on my channel. I've been to New York, Toronto, DC, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Portland, Seattle, some smaller towns like in Ontario where I'm from, London and St. Thomas. I've been to a bunch of Bay Area cities. And probably think that's it. But yeah, welcome Jay. And now we're exploring historic Gastown, one of the cuter parts of the city, more picturesque parts of the city in terms of the streets and the stores and the brick-covered sidewalks. Yeah, Liam, you remember when I went to Los Angeles, right? And of course, I met Liam several times when I went to Toronto. Probably 3 different times when I went to Toronto, I met Liam. As we see a gigantic, massive cruise ship here. This is a next level cruise ship, folks. This is an entire city basically on a boat. Look at this beast of a boat. That is one giant boat right there. Would you guys like to go on a cruise ship of that size? They probably got like 10 different swimming pools. They've got probably casinos. They've got probably spas. There's probably like basically a mall in there. More food than you could ever imagine. It's quite the cruise ship. I wonder if that's going like to Alaska or something. It's over by the waterfront, yeah. This is to commemorate those in the service of the Canadian Pacific Railway Company who, at the call of king and country, left all that was dear to them, endured hardship, faced danger, and finally passed out of sight of men by the path of duty and self-sacrifice, giving up their own lives that others might live in freedom. Let those who come after see to it that their names not be forgotten. That's a World War I and II memorial. So we see the Salesforce building here in Vancouver. Of course, San Francisco has the famous Salesforce Tower, the tallest building in that city.
Which I think is
And we have Janice Pike with us. Hello, Janice. Welcome to you and Rick. How you doing? TGIF, Janice. TGIF. This building has some nice curvature to it. Some real nice curvature. That's a gorgeous building right there. Look at the contours on that sucker. We've got the Chronic Tacos Mexican Grill here. Chronic Tacos. Happy hour from 3 to 6. Tacos, burritos, bowls, and beer. What more do you want in life? And we have Mara Goodger with us. Welcome, Mara. Happy Friday to you. It is a nice day today. Perfect day for walking. Not too hot, not too cold. Let's head this way. Your mom met your dad in the war. Oh, World War II, Janice? Was your dad a veteran of World War II? Mara says, yeah, Robert, I think you're the only person who has pronounced my last name right. Yeah, that could maybe be a little tricky, but to me it looks like Mara Goodger. That's how I see it, so Hopefully that's correct. Thank you, Mara. This building is actually called the United Kingdom Building. The United Kingdom Building. Your maiden name is also difficult because thanks to your Italian adopted dad. Oh, okay. And Janice says her dad was in London, England in the war. Very devastating war. This is the Rogers building, but I don't think it's named after Ted Rogers. I think this is an old school building. Yeah, built in 1911. So that's a different Rogers. Oh, that's cool, Janice, that you had a dad who was fighting in World War II. He did his duty that all the men and women were called to do back then. Absolutely, Janice. Your dad and all those who fought in World War II were considered heroes. Today, I would say most people are very averse to going to war, which is a good thing. Thank you, Juanita. Thank you, Nita, for letting everyone know to hit the like and subscribe button. Let's not forget, we will not forget those who gave their lives for us. This lady's like, pedestrians are such a nuisance. Like, why do they have pedestrians on the street? Looks like a cute little cafe there, the Joyeux. This is a very good store, very high-end clothing store called Holt Renfrew. Holt Renfrew. 18, that's young to be fighting in a world war, isn't it? This store is called Obsessions. Some trinkets and cute little things there. Mom and dad. Some nice handbags for the ladies. This place is 2,000 cigars. These are a Habanos specialist. Habanos, I believe, means cigars in Spanish. Correct me if I'm wrong. And we've got Chowda the Exploda. Everyday wars are being fought, and I'm noting even counting personal wars that people create. That's true, Chowda the Exploda. Thank you for that. It's kind of sad how people would want to, you know, commit violence against their fellow man. Hello, Masty time. Yeah, I think we should end the practice of committing violence against our fellow man. Let's head over to Burrard. Cactus Club Cafe there. Oh yeah, we've got like a bot going on here. Cigar means El Puro. Oh, okay. What does Habanos mean? Hold off on crossing. We'll go up here and cross. We got $1 coffee. See, now we're talking, folks. $1 for a coffee. And this is at the downtown Dosas cart here. So you can get dosas and a coffee. Since I'm here, I'll get a coffee. I already had one, but I'll get another one. Can I get a $1 coffee, boss? Two cream, 2 sugar, please.
Small?
Yes. Asking, Mara's asking if it's hot. No, it's like almost 20 degrees Celsius. It's going to get up to about 20 today. So it's not overly hot, but it's like nice and perfect weather. I started at around 15 Celsius. It's going to make its way up to about 20. Yeah, you saw the McDonald's across the street there? Yep. Good eye, Janice. 20 is very good weather, right? Easy to walk around in that kind of weather. Habano is a Cuban cigar, says Aloha Danica. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I love dosas too, but I'm just not that hungry right now, but I already had breakfast, but I might get something later. Thank you, sir.
I'll give you back.
No, keep the change. Thank you, sir. It's only $1, but I gave him $2. Dollar's a little low for a coffee. All right, we got coffee from a dosa shop. A lot of people associate tea with India. Like when you think, oh, what do they drink over in India? Oh, they drink tea like crazy. And they do drink tea like crazy, but in South India, they drink coffee like crazy. A lot of people don't know that in South India, coffee is actually the main drink. In North India, they drink more tea. Of course, dosas are a South Indian type of food made with rice flour. Let me just open my coffee lid thingy here. Let's try this coffee from a dosa shop here. Pretty good, not bad. Not the finest coffee I've ever had in my life, but not bad for $1. There are a lot of Indian food places. It's my favorite cuisine, and the city has an amazing endless stream. There's a lot of Indian food here. There's a tremendous amount of Indian food in Vancouver, especially, well, I did a live stream from Little India the other day, so there's like a Little India neighborhood in Vancouver, but there's also basically a Big India neighborhood in Vancouver, not in the city of Vancouver, but in the city of Surrey, which is part of Metro Vancouver, and it's basically like, I don't know what percentage Indian, but it's basically like Vancouver's version of Brampton, you know, or BC's version of Brampton, I guess you might say. It's basically all Indian. You'll find the odd like non-Indian person over there in Surrey, but it's basically all Indian. Let's walk down Alberni Street, the luxury row of Vancouver. We see it start with Tiffany and Company. Oh, you like, yeah, you like Indian food, eh, Mara? You guys love Indian food over there in the UK, right? You guys have excellent Indian food over there. You can smell the cumin. Cumin is one of the popular spices used in Indian food. Yes, cumin and coriander and turmeric and red chili powder and white pepper, also known, yeah, which is not the same as black pepper, but black pepper is used a lot. Black pepper is from India. That was where it was originally grown. I believe it's still grown there. I don't know if other countries grow black pepper now, but historically it was always from South India. We've got Ramoa sells high-end luggage, it looks like. Jimmy Choo can get some ladies' fashions, some shoes and handbags. Juanita likes white pepper. Oh yes, white pepper is a very distinct tasting spice, much different than black pepper. And yes, Indian food tends to be pretty spicy, but it doesn't have to be hot. Like if you add a lot of red chili pepper, it becomes hot. I think it's basically cayenne. If you add a lot of that, it becomes hot. But you don't have to add a lot of that. You can just use the other spices, which are full of flavor, but not necessarily hot. Like, I guess when people say, oh, this is really spicy, they kind of refer to hot, but it doesn't have to be a hot spice. It could just be a flavorful spice, you know? Like white pepper isn't super hot, but it's got this sort of unique, sort of tangy taste to it almost. Mara says Leicester is great. It has a very large Indian population, and I just love it. I think I pronounced it right. Is it Leicester or Leicester? And the Diwali celebrations here are apparently the biggest outside India. I believe that. Oh, I definitely believe that. Yeah. The UK is has a very large Indian population. India was controlled by Britain for many, many years. This might sound controversial, but I believe that British colonialism was very good for India, not bad for India. I believe it was very good for India to have British colonialism. They made India more of a modern country. They brought modern concepts such as the justice system and laws, politics, democracy, technology, schools. All the schools were run by the British, all the good schools. And so if it wasn't for the British, India would be very backward still. It still is, but the British brought it more into the modern world, so I'm more of a pro-British colonialism. I think it was good for India and pretty much every country where the Brits went. I think they made it better. Might sound controversial, but that's my opinion. I'm glad it spread all the awesome things people do. Yes, absolutely. British spread their values all throughout the world, and as far as I'm concerned, those are good values to live by. Yeah, certainly founded Canada along with the French and did a good job here. And we've got Christian Hansen in the house. What's up, Christian? Love that we're feeling yep. I don't know what that means, but welcome, Christian. We got a Red Burrito across the street. I didn't know Red Burrito was a chain. There's another Red Burrito in East Vancouver. I didn't know that they had more than one. Kirin restaurant looks maybe Korean, and BC Liquor is the provincially owned liquor store, but there's a lot of liquor stores as well that are not provincially owned. But you won't find booze here in like gas stations and convenience stores like you do in the States, and I believe in Ontario as well has that now. In California, you can go into any 7-Eleven and buy a 6-pack. Maybe not hard liquor, though. Yes, that's right, Christian. We'll see. We're here for now. We'll see how it goes. You know, we're living our life day by day, not trying to make too many plans for the future, if you know what I'm saying. Every time I try and make plans for the future, God just laughs at me anyways, so. Janice is enjoying the conversation. She likes to learn while we're talking. It's good to, you know, talk about some of the facts of the city and the facts of history while we're walking around. Just checking my email real quick. That place is called Chicken. So it's kind of weird, but in my chat, when you guys are putting certain emojis in, not all emojis, like right now I'm seeing Mara Goodger, it says glasses purple yellow diamond, glasses purple yellow diamond. It doesn't have the actual emoji on my screen, it just says the words, which is weird. But like for happy faces and like waves and stuff, I can see the actual emoji, but for some of the other emojis, it's just saying the word. I don't know, is that showing up on your screen, the two emojis that Mara just put in? Of course, there's Tim Hortons here, open 24 hours. Let's check out Jervis Street. I walked down Robson yesterday, or to my last live stream, whenever that was. Oh, you guys can see them. Okay, for some reason Prism isn't showing me them. It's just saying the name of the emoji, which is weird. It looks like they've updated the Prism app, because I'm seeing, well, one good thing they've done is I can see the chat much better now. They've brightened up the lettering, like the font. The font is a nice, brighter and thicker white. Like it almost looks bold now. So I can see it much better. But looks like that emoji thing is a bit of a glitch they got there going on. It's just on my side. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Prism is it's got its issues, but it does the trick for me. I know it has that stupid watermark now. I know it's probably really annoying. Huge watermark down in the corner. It's like way bigger than what it was before. They want us to pay $9.99 a month to get rid of it, but I don't know if it's worth it. I might eventually. What do you guys think? Should I pay the $10 a month to get rid of that watermark? That's really the only benefit you would get from paying for Prism, is to get rid of that watermark. The purple is a bit dark. Oh, okay. Well, I can't even see it. All it says is purple sunglasses in my screen. Got a pink condo there. This neighborhood is considered the west end of downtown Vancouver, which is different than West Vancouver, which is its own municipality, pretty far from here. Let's walk down some of this nice tree-lined street here. Don't bother, eh? Leave the watermark, not worth the $10. Okay. I'll leave the watermark. I guess everybody's trying to make money now, even Prism, so they're like, let's try and squeeze $10 out of these folks. All in all, I think it's a good app. Like it is fairly easy to use. There's just some minor issues with it. I know some people have moved on to more fancy setups. I believe Johnny has his server at home that he connects to using OBS and all this kind of stuff. I believe Vasily's trying to do that too, in order to stream in 4K. But I don't think 4K is really necessary. I think 60 FPS would be good, but unfortunately, for some reason, Prism doesn't allow 60 FPS with the Android phones. I don't get it. Like, I don't see why they can't just make that change to allow... Like, my phone does 60 FPS, so I don't know why they can't just allow that particular setting to be on with the Android phones. That's one thing they should have fixed in their latest upgrade. I feel like that really adds to it when you're in 60 FPS. It looks so more realistic. 4K is good if you're on a 4K television, but most people don't. Well, I shouldn't say that. Probably a lot of people do watch WalkTubing on their televisions. I don't know about my channel, but I know some channels they do. But I would say the majority folks probably just use their computer or their phone. Which, if you have 4K on your computer, it might look a little bit better, but I don't think you're going to notice a huge difference on your laptop. 60 FPS, though, is it's a clear, distinct difference. Purple sunglasses is YouTube's emoji. Ah, okay. Oh, he uses Moblin now. Okay, yes, that's right, Moblin. And I believe other folks are starting to use Moblin. Henry wants to try it. Hello, Antonio. Welcome, Antonio. Oh yes, thanks for reminding everyone to hit the like button. There's a few apps. There's StreamYard, Streamlabs or whatever, which some people use. Yeah, there's Moblin now. I've never really looked at that. There's one called IRL Pro, which is also can be used for 4K, I believe. I did look at it briefly. It's got a lot more stuff on the screen, a lot more settings that you got to worry about. I'll stick with Prism now. My goal is not to upgrade the software, but to get a better phone.
However, you don't find out that the pool is not open.
Oh, you use TV and phone so Rick can see. Ah, that's right. So you use your phone to chat though. You can't really chat on the TV. That's another reason why probably a lot of people don't watch it on their TV, is they can't engage in the chat. They can see the chat, I believe, on the TV, but you can't really type anything, obviously. Unless maybe you somehow could hook up a computer to your... Not a computer, but a keyboard. If you could maybe hook up a keyboard somehow to your TV or to your smart TV. I don't know if that's possible. Starlight Manor, we walked by this the other day. Okay. So, Vancouver downtown is really not that big. Like, I can walk around here in like a few hours and like see pretty much everything. Streamlabs crashes and Moblin is decent. Okay. Yeah, you can see, but you can't type anything. Yeah. And yeah, I'm good with Prism for now. I mean, if they start making it where you have to pay just to use it, that might be a little annoying. Prism has at least been around for a while, and so it's somewhat reliable in that sense. At home, when I did my home streams, I used something called OBS, which is what I believe Johnny uses now, like even for his mobile streaming somehow. I'm not exactly sure how he does it. I think he has OBS set up on his computer at home and then sends the feed from his phone to his computer or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but OBS is kind of the standard one you'd use to do home live streams, and even recording videos from home you could use OBS. You can have all kinds of different overlays, and I can show the chat on my screen and like select different comments and stuff like that, as you guys have seen me do. But I don't really have the right setup for home streams right now, but maybe in the future I'll go back to it. You still like the Prism app, Brad? Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Oh, well, thank you, Carl. It looks very good, very clear, and the picture, sound, everything. You just run it through your big screen TV. Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's good to know. At least it's looking good for a Samsung S22. iPhone would look better, I think. I believe the iPhone 17 is coming out soon, or is it already out? I'm not sure. I haven't really heard anything about the exact date for the iPhone 17 in Canada, which I'm assuming is the same day as the USA when it comes to the release date. 60-inch screen here. Oh, it comes out today. Oh, okay. And you're saying, Janice, is Rick loves the way it's set up because he tells you what to say and then you can just relay the message to us. That makes sense. This is called Comox, C-O-M-O-X, in Bidwell. Apple will be releasing lots of new stuff. A big Siri update. Oh, okay. That is exciting. I've always used the Android. Well, no, I did have an iPhone back in the day. I can't remember which version, but I do remember having an iPhone back in the day. But I've never really been a huge Apple guy. I know, like some people, they will adopt Apple and they'll just use everything for Apple. I don't blame them. I mean, don't get me wrong, like Apple makes really good shit, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and say their phones are crap, their computers are crap. No, they're not crap. It may be a little different to use, maybe not as transparent as, like, say, Microsoft Windows, but the hardware and the software is both really, really high quality stuff. It comes from Apple. Apple's doesn't make junk. You would just have to get used to using the Apple ecosystem, that's all. Which for us older folks, it's kind of hard to switch sometimes, you know. If you're in your 20s, it's easy to switch brands, but once you get to a certain age, it's hard to, you know, you're kind of stuck in your own ways, you know what I mean? Nice condo there with beautiful balconies, large balconies. All you use from your Apple is your watch and your phone, yes. But, like, is it easy to get videos from, say you record a video on your iPhone, is it easy to transfer it to your Windows computer? I heard it's like a pain in the ass to do that. You had like the third iPhone. It was the nicest phone I ever had. Yeah, I mean, hey, they don't, like I said, they don't make crap, right? Regardless of what. I know some people like to shit on Apple, including our friend Johnny Strides, but I think he's saying it more in a sarcastic way, to be honest with you, because to say that they don't make good quality stuff is is a bit disingenuous, because I know folks that have had a Mac laptop that's lasted them 5-6 years and it's still going strong. With Windows laptops, you're lucky to get that much use out of them.
Sitting at the table with Chelsea. Who is she still alive?
You have the iPad Pro, yep. That's good. I remember a lot of people hopped on that iPad bandwagon when it first came out. If Steve Jobs was around, the entire computer industry was much further ahead. In many ways, I guess. You upload from YouTube, then download it off of YouTube, then edit them. See, that's a pain in the ass, Liam. Uploading it to YouTube from your phone and then downloading it and then editing it, that's a pain in the ass, Liam. It's not something I would really want to do, you know. It takes a while to upload like a 4K video from your phone to YouTube. Like when I say a while, like it could take like an hour if you've got like a 30-minute 4K video. directly from your phone to YouTube. That'll take a while, no matter how fast your Wi-Fi is. And then you got to download it, edit it, and upload it again. I mean, I wouldn't want to operate like that. If I got an iPhone, I would just get a Mac computer and just bite the bullet and just go all Mac. You got to know how first, that's right. It was nicer than that phones they make today. No, not for you. You don't have a problem with it, Liam? Everything Apple is proprietary, correct. It's much different than the Microsoft ecosystem. As we are approaching one of the more famous landmarks here in Vancouver. Right up there with the Gastown steam clock. And that cool chandelier that I showed you guys the other day, which I'd never even seen or heard about in my life till I ran into it. I don't know if you guys were here on my last live stream when I showed that very cool hanging chandelier from the Granville Street Bridge that came down and did a bunch of twirls. Biggest chandelier I've ever seen in my life, like not even close. Like I don't think you'll ever see a chandelier that big anywhere in the world. All right, Liam, you take care, my friend. We'll see you on the next one, bud. And Liam is giving a hand pink waving face red heart shape. I can't see the emoji, Liam, but it says hand pink waving face red heart shape on my screen, so. That glitch needs to be fixed. So this famous landmark over here is called the Inukshuk, which is kind of a anglicized word for Inuksuk, the Inuit word for this particular type of structure, which you'll find throughout northern Canada, maybe even Alaska, maybe even Greenland. Anywhere the Inuit live, I believe they put up these Inukshuks throughout the land in order to mark certain territories or denote. They say that maybe it was to mark like landmarks so you know where you're going so you don't get lost up north, kind of thing. I'm not sure exactly the purpose of the Inuksuk, but this is a man-made. This is made by, you know, just I don't think this was made by, like, this wasn't made by the Inuit. This was just an art project to make it look like similar to what you'll find up north. Man, look at that view, right? Epic says GGB cable car. Even my own emojis aren't showing up. Even my own members' emojis aren't showing up on my screen. It's saying GGB cable car, Golden Gate Bridge and cable car. Beautiful view here, right, of the English Bay on the Pacific coast of Vancouver. There's that beautiful colored building over there. And gorgeous mountains in the distance, of course, the Coast Mountains. And the calm waters of English Bay. Here at the edge of the continent, basically. And some cool cargo and oil tankers out there. Massive cargo ships and oil tankers out there. Just hanging out on the water, waiting for whatever. I'm not sure what they do out there all day, but oh, did Liam send a membership thingy, Juanita? It says awesome support, but of course I can't see anything on my phone, so let me know. I mean, Jazz is saying awesome support, not Juanita. Got these huge rocks here, which were likely just placed here by folks in order to break the waves, kind of thing. If there's ever heavy waves that come up this way, they get like kind of stopped by these rocks. Yes, he did. Okay, 5-month membership. Thank you so much, Liam. I appreciate 5 months of membership. We'll see you on the next one, my friend. And everyone, check out Epic Nation HD's channel. If one of the mods could put the links to Liam's channel, that'd be great. Appreciate it, my friend. Do oil tankers and other ships have to wait in order to return to approach the harbor? Sometimes it takes days. Yes, I imagine sometimes they have to wait out there while while other boats are doing their thing, and then maybe they gotta, because maybe you can't have like a million of these huge ships come in at the harbor at the same time, probably, right? But you can really smell the water today, that kind of seaweed, I guess, smell. I don't know exactly what it is, but this is salt water, of course. And this is known as the Vancouver seawall, that basically is like this sort of brick wall here, which goes all the way along for miles and miles and miles. We call it the seawall, which is kind of to keep the water out from this part in case you get really heavy waves. The seawall will block it off. Somebody made some little small versions of the Inukshuk here. A little mini Inukshuk. Thanks for putting Liam's link in there, folks. And I am seeing the emojis from Janice and Jazz, so those emojis are showing up as actual emojis, not words, but I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Some more of these little mini sculptures that people decided to make here, just for fun probably, in order to replicate the Inukshuk. Yeah, very cute. And you can see the whole world from here. Nice calm Friday in late September here, or I guess mid-September. Here on English Bay.
Just the one.
Nice time of the year for weather. Let's head back towards the street. This is a beautiful condo here. Look at the penthouse there with all those huge windows up top. Can only imagine the natural light pouring in to that apartment with their beautiful balcony as well. That it looks like a high-end condo right there. And we've got Yoshi with us. Welcome, Yoshi. That one looks very Miami-ish, this building right here. Looks like you'd have it on Miami Beach. It's kind of white stucco with a lot of glass. called the Tudor Manor. And it looks like a very Tudor style building. Got a strong manure smell coming from somewhere. Very strong manure smell. And hello, Timescales. Good morning from San Francisco. Welcome, sir. How you doing, Greg? Really an incredibly strong manure smell coming from some... What are they doing? Planting a farmer's field somewhere? What the hell is going on? Are they fertilizing some shit or something? What the hell is going on here? All I smell is cow manure. Fresh mulch. Could be fresh mulch, yeah. Could just be somebody hauled in some manure for all of this, all the landscaping out here. Good gardener, doing well. Yes, nice late morning walk. Yeah, I woke up early today. Yesterday I was in Richmond, British Columbia at the River Rock Casino, hanging out with my buddies. One of my friends from Ontario is visiting, and then two of my other friends that live here, we all went there, there was four of us hanging out. We've all known each other since high school. Actually, one of those guys I've known since first grade, if you can believe that. And so we had a good time over at the River Rock Casino. We were all playing blackjack. 3 out of 4 of us won money. That building is called the Vancouver House, which kind of looks sort of upside down-ish if you look near the bottom, but I'm not going to show it now. I'm going to take a left on Burrard here, but I showed it on my previous live stream, the Vancouver House, if you want to go check that out. In town, the manure is probably garden fertilizer. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I'm sure they use it a lot here. We have so much greenery here. The smell is gone now, though. It's just that one area. Yeah, exactly. 3 out of 4 wins. Yeah. Well, we were all at the same table, and the one dealer, he got on a cold streak. He kept busting and busting and busting. And so we were all kicking ass. One of my friends won $260, one of my friends won $100, and I won $40. And then they brought in a new dealer, right? He's like, time for a new dealer. And as soon as they brought in the new dealer, all 4 of us left. We're like, okay, we're done. We're out of here. We all left the table at the same time. We're like, we're not pressing our luck with a new dealer. As soon as you get a new dealer in there, they're going to come in and kick your ass. I mean, I know it's just luck, but thing with blackjack is once you're on a hot streak, you stick with the same dealer, continue doing the same thing you're doing, don't make any changes. As soon as there's a change, your luck is going to change. There's Jim Pattison, Canada's 3rd richest man is Jim Pattison. He owns car dealerships, he owns supermarkets called Save On Foods, he owns pretty much every billboard in all of Canada. Every time you see a billboard, you'll see Pattison under the name. And the dude, he's just a billionaire. He owns everything. Smart dude. I'm more of an admirer of billionaires rather than disliking them. I know a lot of people dislike billionaires. I admire them. I like them. I think billionaires are good. New dealer, new deck. Jazz knows what she's talking about. See the Toyota building, similar to the one in Tokyo that closed a few months ago. They're tearing down the old... Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's right, Janice. The last thing you want to do is push your luck. Esso gas stations are called Exxon. Yeah. It used to all be the same company called Standard Oil back in the day. Back in the 1800s and 1900s, everyone is familiar with the name. I think most people are familiar with the name John D. Rockefeller. One of the most famous names in American history, John D. Rockefeller. He founded a company called Standard Oil. They basically had 90% of the oil market in North America and maybe even the world. And they got so rich, so powerful. He was so rich, so powerful, like way more money than anyone else in the world. And the government broke up his company because it became a monopoly essentially. So there's the famous antitrust case where they broke up Standard Oil into a bunch of different companies. Esso and Exxon and Mobil, Chevron. Those all came from Standard Oil. They were all separated into multiple companies. In fact, Esso, E-S-S-O, is actually an abbreviation for Standard Oil. It's not E-S-S-O, it's S.O. S-O, Standard Oil, S-O, Standard Oil. But then they spelled it Esso in order to sort of change it rather than just have like S.O. Oh, there's still a Standard Oil gas station in San Francisco. That's cool. Jazz says old money. That's about as old as it gets. Yep. The Rockefeller fortune. Most people are familiar with Rockefeller Center. They were also not the founders of General Electric, but I believe they were one of the owners of General Electric. So they were General Electric and Standard Oil and the Rockefellers have always been associated with each other. So we see a mini Inukshuk here, another one. And so the headquarters of General Electric Company was always at Rockefeller Center. They also bought NBC. So that's why NBC is filmed up in 30 Rock. All the shows. There's even a show called 30 Rock. And these are what I call the twin churches. Two churches right beside each other here at this corner that look almost the exact same. They've got the same stonework. They've got sort of the same towers. Same, and it looks like the same architect built both these churches. I mean, these are like almost the exact same. And of course we have this really cool condo right behind this one, which is a very striking building in my opinion. Very cool looking building with its round curves. No Esso, none in Canada is there. Oh, we have Esso in Vancouver. Yeah. A long walk today. Oh yeah, we're already at 2 hours and 17 minutes. Oh, okay. Time's going by fast today. I didn't realize that we're already at 2 hours. I felt like we were only maybe an hour and a half into it. Please remember to like and subscribe. Hit those notifications if you want to know when I go live. We also have memberships on our channel if you'd like to sign up for that. I'll release members only video every month. Members only live streams is very difficult to do now though, because the chat doesn't show up on Prism when you do a members only live stream. I remember I tried doing one a couple months back, and the chat wasn't showing up on Prism, but luckily I had my computer right beside me. I was over at the Kitchener-Waterloo Airport, and so I could see the chat on my computer, like while the live stream was running, but I couldn't see it on Prism for some reason. So it's another Prism issue. If they want me to pay $10 a month, they're gonna have to fix a whole bunch of things. They're gonna have to fix that members only live stream. They're gonna have to fix the fact that I can never see members when somebody buys a membership, or when somebody gifts a membership, or when somebody does like the anniversary of their membership, so many months. Can't see any of that on the Prism app. So if they want me to pay $10 a month, they got to fix all that shit, and then I'll consider paying $10 a month. But with all those glitches, I ain't paying nothing. So we have the Scotiabank Theatre here, kind of the main downtown movie theater, and a nice little grocery market here, IGA. IGA is an old name. We used to have IGA in St. Thomas when I was a kid. Time flies when you're having fun, that's right. I can put a laptop on a rolling cart and push it around. That's a good idea. No, if I do a members only video, I could do it from home, like maybe from outside or something, and I could have like I could do it from my backyard or something and have my my computer beside me. But I don't know, I have like roommates and shit, so there might be distractions. But as we see the copper roof of the Fairmont Hotel, Vancouver's Fairmont Hotel, as part of the Great Canadian Railway Hotel series, chain of hotel. Not like, they think they're all owned by Fairmont now, but they were originally built by the Canadian National Railways, or maybe it was the Canadian Pacific. Yeah, Jenna says we got to tell you what's going on, right? Like, yeah, like half the time when there's anything to do with memberships, I have to count on my viewers and my mods to tell me what's going on, which is dumb, you know. It should show up. Like, Brad says he agrees. Yeah, like if they fix all that stuff, Brad, and like everything's working perfect, all the little glitches are gone, I'll pay $9.99 a month. But until they fix all that, forget it. Because if they did fix all of that stuff, then that would probably be the best streaming app. If they allow FPS 60, and maybe even if in the future if they allow 4K streaming, you wouldn't need to do like any sort of home server or anything. You could just do 4K right from your phone. That would be ideal. The IGA stores are independent and supplied by Sobeys. IGA is in Vancouver only. Oh, okay. Because I used to have IGA when I was a kid back in St. Thomas, Ontario. But I don't think they have it anymore. That's the thing with Canada. Sometimes you'll see brands out here in Vancouver that are not available in Ontario, and vice versa. So not every chain is Canada-wide. For instance, Swiss Chalet and Harvey's. There's no Swiss Chalet or Harvey's in British Columbia. I thought you could just press live from your phone on YouTube. Okay, well, that is true, Mark. Yes, there is a native app. There's the YouTube app, right? You can always go live with the YouTube app, but it is so unwieldy. Like, first of all, like, it doesn't really show the chat. Like, it shows the chat and then it disappears after a few seconds if there's no more chats. Like, it basically, like, if somebody doesn't chat for like 30 seconds, all the chats go away and you got to press the screen again in order to see the chats. It kind of like just disappears if there's not enough movement happening on the screen. It's so stupid. I don't get it. And then the zoom is horrible. The zoom is absolutely horrible. It doesn't allow you to do any proper zooming. And so it's a really unwieldy app to use, the YouTube native app. Now, if YouTube could improve that and make it like work just as nice as Prism, that would be ideal. That would be ideal. Maybe someone should contact YouTube and tell them to improve their live streaming app, because most people do not use the YouTube app for live streaming. Now, if you do a members only stream, I guess I could use the YouTube app for that, and I probably would be able to see the chat, but it disappears after a few seconds, and then you got to touch the screen in order to see it again. I don't know. I tried it once and it was just horrible. Jesus. So maybe I'll take you guys on a little bus ride to East Vancouver if you want to go on a little bus ride. If you don't want to go on a bus ride, let me know. Beautiful. Keep getting side-by-side ads that mute the live stream audio. Oh yeah, because, well, that's why I subscribe to YouTube Premium, so I don't have to worry about ads. Happy Friday to you, Oleg. Welcome, Oleg. Janice says, let's go on a bus ride. Yeah, it's kind of a weird temperature where it's warm in the sun, but then when you get in the shade, it's a little bit cooler, so it's hard to know how to dress sometimes, like in this weather. When I started out this morning, it was only 15 degrees, so I'm wearing a sweater, but I'm definitely sweating my ass off now. I definitely could take off my sweater, but we're on a roll here. We're going to be hitting up the R5 bus and heading back to East Van. Give my legs a break, exactly. I've been walking for a good 2.5 hours now, although it doesn't feel like it. This one went by fast today. Sorry, I'm just getting something out of my wallet here. We have a compass card, is what you use for yes, the last Hudson's Bay is closed, unfortunately. Oh, that VW bus is not sold in the US. That's very rare. Yeah, I mean, that was probably an old school one that somebody bought and fixed up. Those are iconic. Oh, that was a Canada exclusive VW ID bus. Oh, is that a newer one? That's interesting. I did see it briefly while I was walking, but yeah, Hudson Bay Company was the oldest company in all of North America. Earlier on my live stream I said Canada was built on the fur industry. That's because Hudson Bay was originally based on the fur trade of beaver pelts and caribou fur and bears and all that stuff where you get fur from, all those animals. They would come here and, you know, there's so many of those kind of animals they can hunt here, and they hunted them very significantly and sold all the furs back in Europe and made a lot of money, because there was a period of time when Europeans were completely enthralled by beaver pelts and beaver furs. Everybody wanted to wear beaver furs. And so Hudson Bay Company made oodles and oodles of cash, and in fact they owned pretty much most of Canada in terms of the land, but then they donated all the land to the Canadian government. It's called Rupert's Land. Huge swath of Canada, making most of central Canada, and they donated it to the government back in maybe the 16 or 1700s. I'm not exactly sure when Rupert's Land was transferred to the Canadian government, but they owned most of Canada for a long period of time. We lost lots of stores, I know, right? You always wanted to go to the museum in the basement. Yeah, it's very sad that Hudson Bay closed down, because that's, I would say, by far Canada's most iconic company. Really nothing compared to that, not even Tim Hortons. Oregon is also originally pioneered by Hudson's. That's right. They did pioneer much of the U.S. as well, and they brought the fur trade from there. The fur trade kind of started later in the U.S. because it wasn't really explored right away. The eastern Canada, and it was first explored in eastern U.S., and then obviously they made their way down there. But there was a lot of French explorers that were over in western United States as well. And the Hudson Bay Company did own, but I think that was before the U.S. was independent. Oh, Hudson Bay Company sold Rupert's Land to Canada in 1869. Ah, okay. So it was in the 1800s. Yes, Oregon's famous for the beaver. Yep, Oregon was kind of built on the fur trade too, I believe. Okay, so 1869. So that would have been 2 years after Confederation of Canada, when we celebrate Canada Day. July 1st, 1867 is kind of the day that Canada wasn't, I guess it was kind of founded in many ways. I mean, there was obviously people here. There's when the three different colonies came together. Upper and Lower Canada had already come together, but they added New Brunswick and Nova Scotia to the mix, and that's kind of when we sort of became a unified Canada. The West wasn't settled yet, though. Well, people were here. People were in the West before 1869, but it hadn't become like provinces and whatnot. Oregon was established in 1859. Okay, cool. Hudson Bay operated for 355 years. That's awesome. From May 2nd, 1670 until 2025. basically 2 months ago is when they ended their operations. So from 1670 to 2 months ago, how many years is that? There you go, 355 years. That's a long time for one company to exist. Well, that's cool time scales. I didn't know that. There was a lot of these sort of state-owned companies back in the day, like the British East India Company, the Dutch East India Company, the I think it was the Anglo-Russian Company or something like that. Feels like forever, I know, right? So right now we're on the R5 bus. The reason they call it R5 is because it's a rapid bus, meaning a bus is like an express bus, which skips a lot of the different bus stops. So it like goes much faster from A to B, but like you can't get out like at every bus stop. Like they're pretty far apart, each of the stops. So that's one thing. It's more for people that are going like from one area of East Van right to downtown, unless you just happen to be at one of the other stops. But they're like at least like probably maybe 2 or 3 kilometers apart, each of the stops. We'll be passing the notorious East Hastings area. We'll see what it looks like on a Friday afternoon. too. I like Trailer Park Boys. I watched it a few times. I think it's funny, but yeah, it's an old school show. It's a little silly. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm one of the huge Trailer Park Boys fans like some people are. I knew one guy who was absolutely obsessed with that show, and he even could do an impersonation of that odd-looking character. I can't remember what the characters' names are, but it's definitely one of Canada's more iconic shows. So if you guys are troubled by seeing a lot of homelessness and drug use, you might want to change the channel, because we're coming up in about 5 minutes to the most notorious area of the city. Bubbles, exactly, Bubbles, yeah. My friend could do a perfect imitation of Bubbles. He looked exactly like Bubbles. Is that where you were going? Yeah, I avoided that area. I could have walked through that area on the way to Gastown, but I decided not to, because really people don't want you recording down there, and they will get angry and they will get upset. There's two places in the city where you really shouldn't be recording: East Hastings in Maine and Wreck Beach. I don't know if you guys heard of Wreck Beach, W-R-E-C-K, Wreck Beach. It's a nude beach. And literally there's hundreds of people down there that are like completely nude. And apparently, I've never been there, but apparently there's like some pretty good looking women that go there that are like completely nude. So that's one place where you're not allowed to record. You bring a gimbal down there, they're going to be tossing that thing right in the ocean. One of those very long buses. It's basically like 3 buses put together. I think they call it an articulated bus or something like that. Oh, you always use a stealth hat cam at Wreck Beach. Mark was going to ask about Wreck Beach. Yeah, maybe I'll get one of those Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses that you can record with, that Boom Productions has. And I'll go down to Wreck Beach and show you all the naked hotties. I'm just kidding. I will not do that. Yeah, sausage bus. That's a good way of putting it. It's a sausage bus. Richard is with us. Welcome, Richard. I've never been to Wreck Beach. I might have to go check it out. But my friend's like, you got to get naked. Like, you can't just go there. Like, it's not like, not everyone gets naked. Like, maybe only 20% of the people, but he's like, if you want to talk to any of the girls down there or any of the folks down there that are like, you know, regulars, you got to get like 100% naked. I'm like, do you get naked, Pete? He's like, yep, I get 100%. Interesting. This is my good buddy from St. Thomas that I mentioned earlier, one of my closest friends growing up, who I still hang out with a lot now that I'm in Vancouver. And we've got Boris with us. Welcome, Boris. See, Mark Zuckerberg stage disaster. Yeah, I heard something happened on stage yesterday where something didn't. Was it the Meta Ray-Ban glasses that he tried and they weren't working during the demonstration? Those have been out for a while though. Was there like a new one that came out? Janice says, to each their own, I guess. Exactly. Exactly. I don't have anything against it. I just find it like a little strange to be walking around naked with all these strangers there. I'm not sure, I'm not sure why you'd want to do that exactly. Like, what's wrong with clothes? Like, why do they have against clothes? Like, well, I like clothes. Like, I've always liked clothes. I don't see what the issue is with not wearing clothes. Okay. Here we go. Getting into the debauchery here. This is West Hastings, which soon to become East Hastings. This is called Pigeon Park. Pigeon Park. Yeah. And you've got a lot of folks hunched over. I don't want to point out folks in their misery, but the folks who are hunched over, they're not actually in their misery right now. They're just really, really high on fentanyl, and they feel like they're actually on top of the world. So even though they may not be, they still feel like it. The cops are actually here doing something. I can't believe the cops are here. You never see cops in this neighborhood.
That is so good.
Anyone leaning over is extremely high on fentanyl. That's what it does to you, unfortunately. I don't know how it could be allowed to be even enter the country. Like, as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to be dealing fentanyl, you're selling poison to somebody, watching them overdose and die, and then moving on to the next customer and just laughing. Like, what kind of human being is that? What kind of human being would deal fentanyl to someone and just basically watch them overdose and die and then just laugh at them and move on to the next customer? What kind of human being is that? Even considered a human being? If people sell fentanyl, do they even classify themselves as human? I don't consider them human. I think they're animals. I think they should be, frankly, given the electric chair, if you ask me. I mean, there'd be a lot more executions if I was in charge, I'll tell you that much. All these drug dealers would be getting firing squad for what they've been doing. They're selling poison. It's like they're selling like cyanide poison to these people. If you sell cyanide on the street, is that legal? I mean, they should be being charged with multiple homicides and being sentenced to death for selling this drug, but a lot of them aren't even getting busted, and when they do, they go to jail for like 2 years, if max. Some of them don't even go to jail. Too many nudists in San Francisco. Well, you live over in the well, you don't live in the Castro anymore, but you're very familiar with the Castro, Boris, and they got their share of nudity over there, especially when they have those festivals going on. Oh man. But even when there's not a festival, you'll just see some naked dude walking down the street. Timescale seems to agree with me that these fentanyl dealers are basically murderers. They're basically serial killers. How do we deal with serial killers? Do we put them in jail for 2 years? No. Okay, we give them the chair. It may be controversial to say in Canada, but the folks who have had family members die of overdoses, I don't think they will be complaining when the drug dealers get executed, all right? I think they'll be very happy about it because their family members were killed by these people. I know, timescales. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. In fact, they take alcohol more seriously than they take hard drugs in this country. Now, when I say drug dealers, I'm not talking about marijuana, right? Marijuana is legal, first of all, and if you smoke marijuana, you're not going to die. Your life isn't going to be ruined. You're not going to end up homeless. You're not going to be begging for money on the streets. You can just go live. If you smoke weed, you're fine, okay? Like, it's like smoking a cigarette, all right? It's not going to kill you. I mean, it is going to kill you eventually, but not overnight, all right? Not in one shot. But these guys, I mean, they're selling a drug where you take it once and you can die, where even if you don't take it, there have been little babies that have been exposed to fentanyl, like accidentally, and they died just because a little bit of it was in the air near them, or somehow gone into their tongue or onto their body, and they ingested it and they died. Little tiny innocent babies were killed by fentanyl just by being near it, okay? And this drug is now allowed, like, it's not technically allowed, but they allowed it into the country somehow. They didn't clamp down on it and make sure that it could never get here. That should be the main concern of the government, to never allow that drug into this country. It's absolutely disgusting what the Canadian government is allowed. Like, I know it's live and let live in this country, but it's not live and let live, it's live and let die. You die from this drug, so it's not live and let live, it's live and let die. Boris agrees with capital punishment. We need to bring back capital punishment in a big way, man. There's some, like, for these people, like, who are like I don't know, man. There's just not enough punishment. They just flaunt the law. They laugh at our society. They're like basically laughing at our society for the lack of law enforcement and for the lack of punishment. They think we're a joke, okay? They think the government is a joke. They think society's a joke, okay? They're taking advantage of us big time. I mean, marijuana is legal, so yeah, it's not even really a drug anymore. Like, so, you know, and look, no one's ever gonna die of an overdose from smoking too much weed. It's not good for your health, but it's not poison. It's not like gonna kill you overnight or like in one shot, okay? If a little baby gets exposed to some marijuana smoke, like, yeah, it's very harmful for them, but they're not gonna die, okay? Like, little babies are dying from this, and it's not even because their parents are bringing it into the house, or maybe not even their parents, maybe their babysitter or something, who knows. MJ's medicine, even Oleg is agreeing. And in Ukraine, that, like, marijuana is probably heavily illegal. I feel like in Eastern Europe they don't really allow marijuana like how they do here in Canada, but I mean, even in Western Europe they don't really have legal marijuana, really, I don't think. But you know, I think everyone knows, even in Ukraine, even in countries where it's legal, like, it's not really that harmful, like, you know, like, and that's one of the reasons why Canada legalized it, because even folks who don't smoke weed, and not everyone smokes weed, okay, not everyone's, but even the folks who don't smoke weed, they're not really against it. Like, they're like, oh yeah, I don't care if it's legal or not. Like, they're pretty much nonchalant about it. There's not too many people that are like really against it, but with heroin and fentanyl, I mean, that's just a completely different story.
Yeah, I think so. And then there
Fentanyl is a medicine. Fentanyl is used in surgical procedures. That's the only time it should ever be used.
Yeah, we're taking this class right now. There's a music course called
It's actually pronounced fentanyl, but everyone calls it fentanyl.
basically the way it works is it's whatever problem you get on this year, Justine has a class in the same time slot. So
Yes, the daycare's husband brought it in there, and like people were dying of it. You know, little babies died of fentanyl, and that's the only time where the police actually went after the dealers and the distributors. They won't do anything when like these addicts die, but when a baby dies, you know, all the cops and everything, they went into motion and they went and found some of the distributors and drug dealers and they arrested them in New York. But as far as I'm concerned, anytime somebody dies from an overdose, there should be a massive investigation to find out where that fentanyl came from, and they should take it right to the top, right to the drug lord's house, wherever he lives, whether it's in El Salvador or Mexico or wherever these drug lords live. Go there and kill them. Don't even arrest them. Just go there and assassinate the bastards. Like, as far as I'm concerned, they're terrorists. They don't deserve a trial. Let's go there and just send the army in and blow them to smithereens.
everything else is kind of whatever.
That's what I would do if I was running the world. If I was running the world, there'd be a lot more dead bodies, all right, folks? And it would be evil people, okay? It would be evil people that would be getting it, all right?
So it should
Oh, weed is legal in Germany. Interesting. And they have medical marijuana in Ukraine. Our authorities barely admitted the medical cannabis as medication. I know. I feel like in Russia and Ukraine and stuff, they have pretty harsh laws against like all drugs, including marijuana. I know that if you bring marijuana into Russia, you're going to jail for multiple years. And so, you know, they still haven't got that attitude like how we have here in Canada. Even in Western Europe, like it sounds like Germany has legalized it. Seems pretty recent, and I'm not sure about the United Kingdom and France and places like that. Like I bet you the average person in France doesn't give a shit about marijuana. They're probably not against it at all. They're probably like, whatever, I don't care, legalize. But the government, you know, they always have an agenda. You know, if they're not getting their pockets. Look, if you're not lining the politicians' pockets, they got no reason to do anything for you, okay? You got to line the politicians' pockets to get things done, and that happens in every country, all right? I don't care how honest and how non-corrupt the country is. You got to line the politicians' pockets to get anything done. It doesn't matter where it is.
But I might make a few small ones. As the semester goes on.
yeah.
Because I want to do, I like that idea with the slide projector, where I want to make a movie that's just on slides. So
Yeah.
80 frames using animation.
Nice.
Kind of idea. But that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then it's planned like an 80 frame stop motion animation.
Yeah.
Shoot it on slide.
Yeah.
And have that all turned out right. And then
And you could be 160 frames and you're taking the picture twice.
also filing that takes by slide.
Ah.
And the slide not very big with exposure level.
No.
You got to expose it right.
Damn.
Yeah, I pointed how 65 minutes. I also don't know if I have a case.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of frames.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not a lot, but
it's almost like 2.5
Yeah.
of 36. So like trying to border with 36. Three, 4 rolls of 24. Like,
no.
Yeah, that's true time scales. But to be honest with you, it was legal. It was illegal in every country. Like when I was growing up, marijuana was illegal in every country. The only place you could get legal marijuana was Amsterdam. So it wasn't just the United States that believed it was bad. Every country believed it was bad. Now, over the last 20, 25 years, things have changed.
they're mostly metal, but they have 3 plastic years on them. And after 4 years, I can really work.
Yeah.
So if I try
really push it, it's gonna break.
Yeah, I have broken subject like and I was trying to fix it. Yeah, and I broke it.
Did you print new gears?
I did. And then I broke the metal part that was holding the gear.
Oh,
With that hand.
thanks.
Drugs are a hard topic. Yes, yes. I don't mind discussing controversial topics on my channel as long as it's done in a respectful way. We can talk about drugs. We can talk about politics once in a while. You know, we can talk about different social issues on my channel. It doesn't all like, as long as folks are respectful. I give my opinion. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you don't think drug dealers should be executed. That's fine. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hold that against you. It's everyone's allowed their opinion, and I don't try and force my opinion on people. I'm just going to use this chair to tie my shoelace here. So now we're over in East Vancouver in the Hastings Sunrise neighborhood, which is where we started our live stream. You were the 12th person to buy weed legally. That's cool, Mark. And Janice doesn't know exactly what to say. Oh, you don't even have to have an opinion. I'm just spouting off over here, so. When I say shit, it doesn't mean like you have to agree with me, okay? That's right. This is Nanaimo Street, and it is named after a town in Vancouver Island called Nanaimo. I'm not the kind of person that gets upset when someone disagrees with me. I would talk about politics, but try not to use profanity. Well, yeah, we don't. There's no need to use profanity. I do use profanity sometimes, but where I grew up in a small town in Canada, we grew up using profanity a lot. Like that's just how we talk. So it's sometimes it spills out, You just don't like seeing others hurt. You'd want to help. Yeah. I want to help the drug addicts too. I don't want them to suffer and die of an overdose, and that's why I think we should crack down on the actual supply side of things and don't even let that into the country so they have absolutely no way of even getting it. I know a lot of folks, they didn't even mean to get addicted to opioids. They maybe got injured or something, and then the doctors gave them OxyContin in order to relieve the pain, and then they ended up getting addicted to OxyContin. That was a very popular drug like 20-something years ago. It's a prescription drug, but it's an opioid, and it's very addictive, and people would get addicted and then they would sell it on the black market, and you could buy OxyContin, and everyone was doing a lot of people got addicted to OxyContin back in the day. Then they cracked down on that. It's hard. Fentanyl came and reared its ugly head. Most of it's made in these synthetic labs in China. Now, who would sell? It's got to be like, I don't know, the most evil human being in the world. Because you're basically producing a poison that's going to be killing thousands and thousands of people all around the world. You're purposely producing this in a lab. Now, I don't know who would set up that kind of lab. I don't know who would want this kind of operation to be, you know, around, but whoever does it is basically one of Satan's minions, if you ask me, all right? And what do you do with Satan's minions? You don't just let them run around, all right? These guys have a cute little tree house in this sort of split tree that they've got an interesting split tree here. They decided to build a tree house. Cool tree house for the kids to play in. Mark says you have a theory that it's China's payback for the Opium Wars. Well, I mean, I don't know if China still holds a grudge for the Opium Wars, which were in the 1840s. That was a huge, huge controversial thing back in the 1840s, and what the British did was completely wrong, to force China to make opium legal so that they could make just as bad as what the drug dealers are doing today. I don't know. I wouldn't want to make money off people dying and being addicted to the drugs that I'm making. I wouldn't want to make money off of that sickness. And City Emerald, Steve says that he just got off the phone with his oldest son. He's going to give us another grant. Congratulations, Steve! Well, awesome, man. Congratulations to another grandchild for your family. That's great news. God bless you and your family, Steve. Excellent. The British were the drug lords of the 1800s. They were. They didn't do it by themselves. There were a lot of people involved in the opium trade from Asia. It's all grown over in like the Afghanistan, Pakistan. A lot of people from India, Iran, the Middle East. They were all heavily involved in the opium trade. Opium was bad. I don't know if you really died of an overdose by smoking opium, but it was very, very addictive. And they had opium dens in San Francisco and Chinatown in the 1800s. They had hundreds of them, probably in Vancouver. Probably all the Chinatowns had opium dens. They were known for having opium dens in the old school Chinatowns back in the 1800s, because, like I said, Chinese were heavily addicted to it. So, but after that nice conversation, I think I'm going to wrap up the live stream here, guys. Didn't mean to take us off into a drug-related conversation, but that's what happens when you drive by East Hastings, right? Not much else you can do except observe the debauchery and the sadness of what's going on over there. I don't know. Can anyone tell me what kind of tree this is? This is a very interesting tree. See these? These are like really sharp, actually. Like, you touch them, it's like, ouch, ouch. These are like really sharp. Opium ruined the Qing dynasty. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I don't know, this is such an interesting tree, right? Like, these are like... These are like really sharp right here. What is this, like some sort of cactus style of tree? I don't know what it is, but it's very interesting. It looks pineish, but no, this is a very unique tree. All right, well, I'm going to wrap up the live stream here, guys. Thank you for joining me on this walk. Oh, we got over 3 hours. Wow, today went by quick. We started out here in Hastings Sunrise. We walked all the way. We walked all the way to Gastown. I showed you the beautiful Gastown area. Oh, you call that a monkey tree? That could be a monkey tree. That looks, yeah, it could be a monkey tree. Good call. And we showed you the beautiful downtown of Vancouver on this nice sunny day of 20 degrees Celsius. Can't beat this weather. We have amazing weather here in Vancouver. Corana araucana tree, native to Brazil, also called monkey puzzle. How do you know that so quickly, Pines? Did you Google it or something, timescales? Thank you, Greg. And thanks everyone else for watching. Thank you, Medano and Juanita and Mark and timescales and Janice and Boris and everyone else in the chat. Steve, congratulations again, Steve, on your great news for your family. Oleg, well, I hope you're enjoying your day in Ukraine there. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. Have a happy Friday. TGIF, as Janice would say. And yeah, so hit the like, hit the subscribe. You know what to do. All those different buttons. And we will see you on the next one. Have a wonderful weekend. And not sure when I'll be going live next, but if you hit the notifications, you will know. All right. See you, everyone. Take care. Bye for now. Bye, Israel. New record of trend. No, I've done longer streams, but this was a long day. This one was a long one. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.